Hi, beautiful shining stars. So, if you read the caption, is I manifested everything that I intend and desire in 2025. So much to go through, so much more to co-create with spirit. With all that being said, yes, I've come across a lot of blocks and a lot of issues. But one thing that I have learned and that I also have taught through my books and my classes and everything is that through these blocks, through these crazy storms that we go through in life, sometimes it's for us to kind of look, and find the silver lining, find that it's a motorcycle, that in between energy for you to kind of come out, almost like that lotus effect that I talk about all the time, just kind of submerging and coming out of the shadows and the darkness and the mud so you could bloom and prosper. So, one of the last videos that you saw was that I manifested everything that I intended and desired in 2025. And I'm still like, because I've done so much that I haven't really like revamped my wall. Like, still, I have all the stuff on my wall from 2024, all the things, the things that I wanted to manifest. And I like to still look at them because it feels very like surreal to see things that I wanted and to have them realize, being able to hold some of the things in my hands, being able to do the things that I said I wanted to do. And it just feels really, really, really good and magical and fantastical. And being able to share this with you is even more special. So many of you have been emailing me like, hey Daisy, what are you up to? What's going on? So let's have a chat. So it first started that I really, really wanted to put everything in the past, put like where I was, what I was doing. I really wanted to let go of my spiritual business in a way that I wasn't needed, and kind of like be more in a place where I could create books and I could create classes and I could just do pop-up videos like this every 6 months and be like, hello, I'm back, this is what I'm up to, this is what I'm sharing with you all. So still being a very much part of your life, but not in a way that you're like, I need to put a video every week or every day or every month. More like when I feel, called to do things, I could share with you all. So that was my mentality of what I wanted to do. But then when 2025 came, it was like really, really like almost like watching your life through someone else's eyes. It was like little things that I would ask for. One of the things is I remember I told my husband, wow, I got all of this, everything that I wanted. The only thing I'm missing is this. And only a week later, I get surprised by also having that other thing that I asked for. And it was like very like, whoa, this is crazy. Like I always manifest and I always co-create, but it was to a point that like was like everything was like one thing after the other, and it was so good. But it's also the roller coaster of our lives, being in a physical body that you need to care for, because if you don't care for it, I always say it, my mom is always talking about how she's scared of death, and I feel like in many ways all of us are. But I feel also that from the moment that we come into this realm, we have an expiration date, just like everything, just like the flowers, the birds, the bees, we all come here and we go on into our next. So we try to, like, when we're faced with health issues and health concerns, to, okay, what do we do? What's next? So, that's what I've been working on. And I've been having health issues for a long, long time. But, more so now I'm 50. So our life is, again, we kind of like, the seasons change, right? So I knew that a lot of the stuff that was happening was because I needed to take a step back. I needed to focus on me, focus on my spirituality, still be there for you, but in a way that you could learn by yourself. Because what I was doing is, when I sat down and talked to spirit, and I have a video here that I talk about it, I think there's like a yacht in the middle of a storm, and that was a vivid dream that I had in 2024, and I shared it. And I know that for some it was like very like, oh, she's such a bitch, who does she think she is? But for me, it was like, it was very personal because we all have to take care of ourselves. And if you have been part of my scripting classes, I always taught you that you need to do self-love. You cannot love others if you don't love yourself. And that for me has been one of the hardest things, because I've always been the one that takes care of everybody. I've always been the one that has to pay all the bills. I've always been the one that has to be responsible for everything. So for me, having that realization, almost like that visual dream, almost like that, oh my gosh, this is so real to me. It was like a wake up call, like, Daisy, you really have to close that chapter. Now, I still take clients. I still have people that call me with situations, and everything is like a very, one person. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let me see if I can help. And there's many times that I'm like, no, I can't. And unfortunately, there's other times that I just don't even reply. And it's not like I'm not trying to be like, not there for you. And I was like, I sat with Spirit. I was like, well, how do I help? And like, Daisy, you need to just show them the manifest. We all have this divine power to co-create and manifest and do the things that we intend and desire. All that energy is stored within you in your divine God DNA. So how do we tap into that? So I created numerous books, and it started with this one. I wrote this book way back in like 2018 or 2017. I published it in Amazon KDP in 2019. This is the first Amazon scripting book. After this one, there's a whole other array of books. There's even a great one that HarperCollins published for an actor, and I read it. It's a great book. I think it's How to Script Your Dream Life or something. No, mine is How to Script Your Dream Life. Mine is How to Script Your Dream Life. That one is How to Script the Life That You Want. So it was like, after that, there was like a lot, like you could see, some of them were people trying to just jump on the wagon to make money. So you could see like which ones were, okay, this is real, she does this stuff. And like his was like very, personal. And I love personal books. So this book meant a lot to me because it shares what I went through, the hardships that I went through when I first lost my home and my car and my business way back in like 2007 or 9. And then just starting over, starting my spiritual business practice, and, and just taking the next. Because I've always been very business savvy. I've been a preschool teacher. I've been a waitress my entire life. I go back to that all the time when I need cash. I've had a flower business. I've had a gift shop business. Like, I've had a lot of businesses because it's kind of like something that I love to do. I love to work for myself. And, one of my main goals, and if you go back to my videos, you hear me talking about it all the time, is I want to be fully retired by 55. And I want to give everything over to like my children so they could do their own stuff. And so I'm just like writing my books and doing the things that I want to do. One of the things that I said that I wanted to do was I wanted to read. I just want to read. I want to read my books. I want to sit down every night and just read, and not have to worry about, oh my God, I have to finish work for a client or have to do this. I just want to be able to have me time. And I've been able to do that. I am very happy to say that I read a book every single week, sometimes every 3 to 4 days, depending on how thick the book is. I have read almost all Colleen Hoover books, all Frida books. I'm obsessed with Danielle something. I don't even know what her name is. Her next book comes out this month. Super excited about it. So it's just like really fun to be able to do the things that I love. My daughter is a foodie, so being able to go to different restaurants with her and enjoying that and enjoying margaritas, and so I'm sharing this with you all because, is it all peaches and cream? No. Is it all rainbows and butterflies? Absolutely not. I go through a lot. I have a lot of people around me. You all know the stories about my mother-in-law. I've had a lot of issues even with my husband. Just a lot of changes. I still don't know where certain things are in like my personal relationships. So, but I'm taking everything with a grain of salt. I'm taking everything day by day and acknowledging, what I can change and what I have no control over, and really scripting the life that I intend and I desire. And just like when I don't feel good, sitting down and just getting all of that negative energy out. I do tapping. I'm in a place where I absolutely love where I am. And I'm still and right now, last Mercury retrograde kicked a lot of asses, and we are all seeing a lot of truth and realizing the things that do not fit in our lives, the things that will never change, and you would just have to kind of like turn the page and either let it go or deal with it and continue on that path, and continue to go through whatever it is that you're going through. Like today I was talking to my daughter and I noticed something that somebody else was doing, and then I noticed my hypocrisy, and it wasn't like I wasn't like gossiping, it was more like, oh my god, you're right, I noticed that. And then when I said that, I realized I am criticizing her, right? Because we don't want to gossip, but we still critique, we still see things, we still say things. And when I said that, my daughter kind of looked at me smirking. She's a little smartass. And I realized, oh my God, I'm actually mirroring. I'm looking at her, but I'm seeing something that she's doing and kind of criticizing it. And I'm doing the same thing. So it's like, it's being that person to be able to recognize our flaws, and I have a mouth, I say things that sometimes I'm like, whoop, I should be quiet. But it's also recognizing that I say things because I like to, share my funniness and my quirkiness. But it's also realizing that everything that we say is a spell that we're casting out into the universe. So we have to be very, very careful, especially if you're someone like me that loves to talk a lot. Try to kind of be careful what you say. And one of the things that I love is when I sit down and have conversations with my cousin, who is my soul brother, is how we just tap into that beautiful, magical, spiritual energy. And then we recap on the things that we want and we desire, and we bring each other up, like sometimes spirit will come through and through me and just share beautiful messages to him and vice versa. So yesterday when we were having those conversations, I was like, oh my God, I was telling him, I said, oh my God, Edgar, like I closed my Etsy shop. Like I closed my spiritual Etsy shop. I've sold a lot of the goodies. I know like there's been other spiritual shops that have messaged me and like, oh my God, do you have stuff? I will buy stuff from you. I will buy your oils. And I feel so good being able not to only, sell stuff that I know that's going to go to happy places and happy people that need these spiritual remedies and candles and oils and all of this beautiful manifesting energy work, but also because I've been able to gift them, like, this is how I do it, and just having those conversations with people and spiritual shops that I wasn't even aware of. And I still have stuff that that I'm trying to sell and gift and all that good stuff. So my cousin's like, Daisy, because the last couple of weeks I have had people, because again, it's been like 6 months since, almost 6 months since I stopped doing my spiritual stuff, and almost like a month and a half since I closed my spiritual Etsy shop. And I've had people like freak out because they'll come back to the shop and they notice that nothing's there, and I've changed the name to Crafty Thrifty Stuff. And they're like, oh my God, I need this. Please tell me you still have this. Oh my God, I need that. Please tell me. Or can you get me this? Or I'm out of this. So I email blasted about the videos, how I'm just gifting all of these videos. And if you go back, you have the language money class, you have all the different scripting workbooks, the ones that go with the book, the ones that when I would do individual workbooks, like you have all of that at your disposal, gifted from me to you. I made them all available, and those were part of my paid classes. My language and money class was a $555 class, and I made all those videos available to you because I am working on the language of money book. I'm not sure if it's going to have a class. It all depends where I am and where, I work with spirit. But I wanted to gift that to you because you have been part of my journey. Like if you look at my YouTube, I've had this YouTube for a long time, like 3 decades. I've been doing these videos like forever ago. And seeing from where I started to where I am, I'm really, really happy and super grateful that you were part of my life and that I was able to share all of that with you. Maybe next year, years from now, months from now, whatever, I'll decide to come back and revamp and do something else. But right now where I am, I'm super happy, I'm super content. So you might want to just follow me on my Amazon, because not only am I writing spiritual books, but I'm also writing stories. And I love that because since I'm such an avid reader, I'm enjoying that fictional characters and adding magic to them and just, creating those fantastical worlds. So I love to be able to share that with you all. And also, since a lot of you have been asking if I still have stuff and am I available to do stuff, just for the month of May, I will be sharing scripting. Like if you want to have one-on-one scripting sessions, message me and I will, I'll share with you, details, pricing, whatever, because of course every class, every one-on-one is different. And I have only 10 boxes. I might not even have 10 because I think I just got 2 messages since I blasted an email. So I might have just 8. I'm not 100%, but these boxes will be catered to your spiritual needs. The boxes are $88.88 US shipped. If you're outside the US, you would have to send me like your address and I would have to figure it out. Because outside of the US, it's a bit of a mission, especially right now with everything that's going on. So anywho, we have to I have to go to the UPS store and figure out what is the best and cheapest way to get the stuff to you if you're out of the US. But anywho, these boxes will have oils, candles, a scripting book. It could either be this one, or I have also my How to Manifest Your Soulmate, which is more of a journal. This is more of a how-to script with a workbook, but you will also get the Butterfly Transformational Ritual, which is something that I created not so long ago for my TikTok shop. And it will have the Quantum Jumping 7 Power that was part of my Patreon, which I did close my Patreon. A lot of you guys freaked out when I did that. So, and I know that was there, and it was pinned at the top, and everybody loved that ritual, because that ritual takes you from this space of whatever you are and kind of like shifts you to the next. I feel like that ritual had a lot to do with me manifesting all of the things that I manifested so rapidly at the beginning of 2025, closing 2024. I still use that because not only you're using scripting, but you're also shifting your reality. It's such a powerful and such a simple energetic ritual. So that will have that. It will have candles. It will have oils and just trinkets that spirit might want you to have. So the box is going to be super packed with spiritual goodies just for you. But again, I don't have a lot of stuff. So, and I want to be able to make sure that I give you the very best. I just made a batch of candles for myself because I still practice for myself. And of course for, my family. And that is one of the things also that I wanted to, I've been always focused on helping everybody else and doing for everybody else. And a lot of people was like, yeah, because it's spiritual business. But then I didn't have time for me. I didn't have time to, manifest for my family. And even though I did, do here and there and meditation and all that, I just felt like I needed to be more centered in my, own reality, especially, teaching and preaching. I need to walk the walk that I talk, right? So I was like, I need to be there. I need to help my family, shift and do the things that they intend, and always send them favor and love and joy and prosperity and, all that beautiful stuff that we need, especially that we are undergoing such massive changes and shifts in the world, so much crazy energy that's happening. So I wanted to be in a place where I got out of all of that and more stay tuned to the magic, the fantastical, the imaginary world that I love to create mentally and realistically. So those boxes are available if you want one. My email is lovegoddessdaisy@yahoo, and I will make a box for you. I just need your name and your birthday so I can really cater the box to your spiritual needs. If you want to say, hey Daisy, I'm working more on my love life, or I'm working more on my finances, or self-help in love, like whatever it is that you're trying to work on, let me know in that way, because I will connect with spirit anywho. But you might want, spirit might be like focus like, hey, no, Sally needs self-love, and you might be like, oh no, Daisy, I actually want more money, or I actually want a new soulmate. I'm tired of what I have. Joel's making me crazy. So anyway, so message me in the email, like, your name and your birthday, and what it is that you're what are you working on manifesting wise. And again, while supplies last, I'm gonna leave this video on. This video could be whenever. It's only through the month of May 2025. So yeah, and the boxes are being shipped May 9th. So it's pretty much Monday the 5th. So while supplies last. Like I said, as soon as I blasted, 2 people messaged me back. So I don't know how many I have left. I'm just letting you know. So anywho, my books are available on Amazon KDP. I have linked them. They're in the email blast that I sent. If you need me to send you the links, I'll send you them. I'm pretty sure that this is KDP. I'm not 100%, but I recommend if you get a soft cover, because it does have areas for you to write. And like I said, I just love a book. It's just me. I love having a book where I could just really highlight and just add, you know, my magic to it. So that's just me. And then this one's more like a journal. This is more of you kind of loving yourself and attracting that beautiful soulmate when your love life has been in turmoil, and when you've been in a relationship that is just not working out and you're just trying to either heal it or, you know, move on to something bigger and better. This is such a great book. It's like a journal, but it does have the divine healing name of attracting your soulmate. So there's like a lot that goes into this book. So of course this is part of the box, but you are more than welcome. I also have another scripting book that has like a beautiful sunflowers, more basic, and the new one, which is the 48 prompts. I don't even have a copy of that one because every time I get copies of it, they fly. If I put it in my TikTok shop, they sell right away. Because the 48 prompts literally is 6 weeks of you manifesting through scripting. And I don't even have the soft cover up on my Amazon. I just have the ebook. But it's something that I did, and those videos are available. So you could take advantage of that. Just go right here into my channel, sift through everything, and just enjoy. Go back to the first one. I'm going to try to see if I can organize them in playlists for you. But if you've been wondering, you know, where I've been and what I've been doing, and this is what I've been doing, just creating my reality, enjoying every day in the utmost peaceful, tranquil, and still weeding. I'm still weeding my spiritual garden, my physical garden, getting rid of the weeds that are just really tormenting me. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie here and be like, my life is peaches and creams and rainbows and butterflies, because I'm not that person, and there's certainly not rainbows and butterflies and peaches and cream. But it's through all of that that I always find my peace, you know. And that's something that I share with you guys, that I feel like nobody else really does that, is that we're allowed to have our negative days. We're allowed to have days that we're in bed and crying and just sad and angry and overwhelmed. We're allowed to have those days. That is for yourself, your spiritual self, your physical self, to acknowledge what is not serving you. And so you could create the shifts and the changes that are required for you to make those shifts in your life. So take everything with a grain of salt. Manifest the things that you want to manifest, and what doesn't serve you, say no to. If you don't like something, say no to it. You know, and again, I'm sharing you this as I'm learning myself, as I'm still learning to say no. I don't want this. This is not part of who I am. I don't want to be part of that anymore. So I needed, you know, to step back and just do things very differently. And I love what I'm doing. You know, I've created another business with my daughter, and something that just makes me really happy. And being able to share that with you here in this video, just to share with you that I'm okay. I'm fine. And yes, if you need your manifesting oils, your obsession oils, your Venus oils, take advantage of the boxes there for me to share that with you, and that way you have them in bulk, and you could, you know, you have them for the rest of the year. So thank you all. One last thing I'm offering is my spiritual TikTok shop. I heard that you are allowed to sell your TikTok shop. And again, since that's the last thing that I have of like my spiritual stuff, I don't know exactly how it's able. So if you are interested and you want to work numbers with me, if you really want that TikTok shop, it's very simple. You don't even have to show your face, because it's capsules, it's spiritual capsules. So I will share with you all the details. I will share with you everything that I buy. It's spiritual books. I will share with you all the sources. Of course, I can only sell it to one person. So if you're interested in that, you've been wanting to start your own spiritual business and you just don't know what to do, maybe this is Spirit talking to you. You all have a blessed 2025. May the rest of 2025 shine. May you manifest all your dreams, all your intentions, all your desires. I will truly, truly work my best over your boxes. Namaste.